guys, it's Glenn from glenscarcollection.com, and I got big news. I'm buying another car. All right, so you're watching this Friday morning. Good morning. If I pick up this car today, I will, the Siri or whatever this is, always thinks I'm talking to it. Sorry about that. Easy BMW. If I pick up this car today, which I may, this is Friday, you will see a video of my new car on Monday. If for some reason I don't pick it up Friday, I pick it up next week, then sometime next week you'll see it either Wednesday or Friday. So remember, I post 3 videos a week, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 a.m. So make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a video. All right, so how did this happen? Well, I wasn't really looking to buy a car because prices have been crazy. So honestly, let me just, parking brakes on. Honestly, I was just looking for a car that I could hold its value or go up in value. That's typically, to make my money last, how I buy cars. Everything is overpriced in this pandemic, but I found a car for a good price that's a very desirable car that I think will appreciate a lot in the future. In fact, it's already appreciating, but I think, sky's the limit, or certainly could go up like the NSX or 993 Turbo in the future. So I don't want to pass up a chance. I almost tried to buy this car, totally different price point, but I tried to buy this car about 6-7 months ago when I bought the S2000, and it sold instantly. So that person that bought this car, even though I'm buying it in another state, driving distance from my house, this car spent most of its recent life about 30 minutes from my house. Kind of weird. So somebody traded that in on a very high-end car, traded this car in, so supposedly it's mint condition. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know 100% that I'm buying it, but fingers crossed. Everything I've heard about this car, it's supposed to be in fantastic condition. It's very low mileage, so that's the kind of car I love. So I've actually, though I've never seen this car, I reviewed a car just like it on the channel. So that's a hint. It's not a huge hint because I've reviewed 900 cars on this channel. So it's not like I reviewed 50 and you can go through all the reviews and figure it out. Of course it has a manual transmission, and it has something that they're probably not going to make again. And that's why I want to, with everything going hybrids now and electric cars, I think any kind of stick shift collectible car you can get, you should buy. So leave your guess below. Yes, it's a manual trans, so it's not a C8 Corvette or a C8 Z06. I'd love to have a C8 Z06, but I think there's about a 2-year wait, and you thought the base C8 was selling for 25, 30 over sticker. Wait till the Z06 comes out. So if people are still getting 100 grand for the C8, and I just did a review recently of the convertible on my channel, and we also have 2 C8 coupes reviewed on the channel. Wait till you see markups on Z06. They're gonna, the sticker's gonna be 90,000, 100,000. People are gonna be asking 150, 180. So that's out. I'm not paying over. It's not a new car. It's a used car, and I like cars that are in that 10 to 15-year-old range, because I think a car starts to hit peak value when it's about 20 years old, and it can really have a high peak when it's 30. So examples of the NSX I have, 993 Turbo. Those are like cars I like. That's not this car, but I think this car could have a huge following someday as well. And it's not an S2000 because I already have an S2000. So it's a new to me car. It definitely has a manual transmission. I'm really excited to get it. I really wasn't looking. I stumbled upon this, and I'm not selling anything. All the cars I have are keepers. I don't think it would be wise, honestly, to sell any manual transmission, because we all know at some point that's going to go away or become very scarce. So right now, the car market is inflated, whether you want an Acura, a Toyota. My friend was just called me about a Corolla that's overinflated. Somebody else just told me, they were trying to lease a cheap car and it was $600 a month because there's no inventory and everybody's paying, $5,000 over, or 10 or 20% over. So I think the older cars that were already collectible before this pandemic and all this pricing happened. So that's cars, let me see if I can get some more light in here. That's cars that were bringing all the money in 2019, that were bringing all the money in 2018 before any of this craziness happened. I think there's a good chance that those cars continue to appreciate. Even if there's a reset when the chip shortage and new cars catch up, if there's a reset next year or something like that, I think there'll just be a dip, like buying the stock, right? It keeps going like this. It goes up, but it goes down, up, down, up, down, up. I think the same thing for the collector car market. So, less desirable cars. People right now are paying top dollar for 100,000 mile cars, and crazy amounts of money for cars. When the market eventually resets, or when there's a period when there's a down market, because there will be a down market at some point, You know, the cars that are going to last are the low mileage, original paint, all 100% stock examples, whether those are manual transmissions or exotics or whatever the car may be. So just keep that in mind. If you're paying, you know, $200,000 for an old M5, you're paying an inflated price for it. That car probably will continue to go up in value, but it could drop too because of all the mileage on it. So just keep that in mind when you buy a car. You really want a low mileage, non-accident, clean example, original paint. Those are going to be impossible to replicate, whether the market is high or low. So 90% of the time, or most of the time, I shouldn't say 90% of the time, most of the time the car will go up in value, and there will be some dips, of course, just like any car. Like my 993 Turbo, for example, I bought it real cheap. It went way up in value. It went down a couple years ago because it went up so fast. It came down pretty quickly. And I said, this is a buying opportunity. That car's going to go up again because they only built 2,000 of them. It's the air-cooled turbo. It's a manual transmission. It's 400 horsepower. It says a 3.9 second 0 to 60 time, and watch, it'll go up again. And it did. And now it's skyrocketed even higher than the values were, you know, 5 years ago. So there was a dip. There was a couple year lull, and that would happen probably for any collectible car, depending whether it's in favor or out of favor. Just be careful, you know, paying for cars with 100,000 miles, 150, 200. They're up now, and they may go up because the low mileage ones will go so high, and that's the biggest appreciation I think we've seen. If you look at low mileage cars, they went up. Like low mileage collectible cars, they definitely went up. But if you look, the ones that made the biggest gain are 100,000 mile cars. Before, like the 100,000 mile cars were at this price, the 20,000 mile car were at this price. Now the hundreds are pretty close to the 20,000s because nobody's really selling the 20,000, and that'll change. You know, when the market changes or resets, this will go down like this, but this will go down like that, the 100,000 mile car. So be careful. And also, for example, our Jeep Grand Cherokee lease is up soon. We'd like to replace it with something. We could actually make like a $6,000, $7,000 profit by getting out of the lease now, but any car I buy as the family car is probably $5,000 to $6,000 over what it should be, whether it's new or used, right? So it's kind of like a wash. So we'll have to kind of wait and see what happens. But this car, so I'll give you, you'll see next week, maybe as soon as Monday. If I'm picking up the car today, I'll do a quick video when I pick it up or over the weekend that I can give to you on Monday, so you'll see, and then we'll do a lot of videos with this car. This car is a keeper. So cars I was considering, should I tell you cars that I was considering? I guess so. So I was considering actually the new NSX because I figured it didn't make it anymore. But I was kind of like 50-50 whether that would go up or not. I think it really depends on the long-term liability. So if whatever car I buy, I always say I'm going to keep it a long time and then I sell it after a year or two. But to me, I'm looking, what car could I buy now that I could keep for 5 or 10 years? So I think in the short run, the NSX may even go up in value since they're ending the whole run with the Type S, and that's already sold out. So there could be, you know, at least in the short run, the NSXs will go up in value, I think, or certainly hold their value. How they'll do 5 or 10 years from now really depends on how reliable they are, because they'll all be out of warranty. Even if you get certified pre-owned and pay for extended warranty, you're not going to have a warranty 10 years from now, and you're going to have all those electronics. So it could be a performance bargain, but not an appreciation bargain. So that's kind of how I'm looking. And you never know, they could always make an NSX come back, knowing Acura or Honda may take 10 years to do it. So you may have a good run, but I don't think you'd have a 10-year run. So I think this car is a safe bet. It's a very desirable car, almost impossible to find. I've given up finding it. I reviewed one similar to it on this channel, and that's what made me kind of discover this car and fall in love with it. So guess below what you think I bought. I'll give you a second hint. If you watch the video this long, I'll give you a second hint. So one, obviously, I think it has a lot of collectability, or certainly it will in the future. It's a stick shift. And the second hint, it's a high revving manual transmission. So it revs over 8,000 RPM and has a manual transmission. So I think this car is a real safe bet. I'm excited to get this and make videos with it and share it with you. Leave your guess below. And remember to be subscribed. Remember to like these videos. That helps me in the algorithm. Comment with your guess. And then obviously, if you watched it this far, you should be a subscriber and hit that notification bell so you don't miss when I post the new vehicle. Thanks again for watching. And hopefully I'll see you next time with the new car. If not, sometime next week, you'll see it. Thanks for watching. Take care.